Alright, let's begin. So the last thing to cover is all of the different spawners, or not spawners, all the different factories. So see here, um, we have the glyph factory. So the glyph factory will return a reference to a glyph. It will create the glyph whenever it's called. This creation will lead over to the object pool where we will either have to initialize one or we can take one off the top of our recycling pool. So we just call this. Then now we don't need the old glyphs, we have the new ones here. So now it's recycling from the top. Do we have autos? We do. So it's going to be using the recycled glyphs each time. So that's how it recycles. And then if it needs more, it will pull more from here until it needs to use the recycles. So that's the glyphs object pool working. Over here we have the text blocker factory, which again, we have the factory call here. So it's going to give the position in the grid to the text blocker. We're going to pull it from the object pool. If we don't have one, we're going to create it. Otherwise, we can just pop from the top of our object pool. So we're going to create a few. And then I'm going to breakpoint this. So we create a few here. So we're going to deactivate that one. And we will reuse it when we swap scenes. For the blaster, we create one at the start. So we end up having our blaster factory over here. So the blaster factory initializes it and returns it as a pointer so that the player manager can keep track of the blaster. The next one would be the mushrooms, so we'll start populating the grid with mushrooms based on here. In the activate grid call, it's going to send it over to the factory with a row, column, and grid, which will then be passed on to the mushroom here. So I'm just going to disable that one because we already know. So that's going to be called a bunch. For the centipede head, we're going to call it once at the beginning because there's none on the board. We're going to be creating it. So this is being referenced here in the factory, which is being called by the spawner here. So that's where it's getting referenced. Centipede segments, same deal. It's being referenced in the spawner. Because we don't have any yet, it's going to create a bunch. It's going to keep calling it. So we already know that this works, and we also know that the head works. For the bullet, the attractor is firing bullets, so it's going to create one here. See here, it's being created. Oh, you can't see it because it's off screen. Second, bullet. Okay. We're creating a new spider because a spider has not been seen in the game yet. It is being created here. Bullet has been destroyed, so it's being recycled. Let me just disable bullet pool. So to try and pull it on the screen, so as you see here, it's being created. A critter has been destroyed, so it's creating a small explosion here. So we're creating explosion on line 23. Let me go back to bullet now that. Yeah, I'm just going to do this. Okay, so now we're creating a new explosion bullet. Move that. And then continue running. So let's see here. If I go back to so we're making a new mushroom because we destroyed a centipede. Because we have a mushroom that exists already, we're calling it from the top of the object pool instead. Mushroom pool here. Oh, I see that in action. Then we got the bullet object pool and putting that back up to show it in action. So, and then also we're creating a new explosion. Or we're using one of the old small explosions because we already had one created. So this is line 26. So see here. And because the board has been destroyed, we're recycling it here. So we're calling the function to create another one. So if I can get rid of the bullets. For the centipede head, because we already have one, it's recycling it through the object pool. So now the centipede heads are being recycled. Because we are destroying the spider, we are making a big explosion. So because we don't have one created yet, it's being added into the object pool. That's line 47. And also we are creating a new score display for the spider because we have not made one yet. And we are creating a new spider immediately, so we're pulling one out of the recycling. So we made a new one. So, because the spider was destroyed, we're making another big explosion. One's already within the object pool, so instead of making a new one, we're pulling it out of the pool. Explosion, line 50. And also, once again, we're calling a spider from the recycled pool. Oh, not my bad. We're calling the score display from the recycling pool because we already made one. So because we already made one, we're calling the score display again to change it. So if I just go to call it myself, because I pressed player 1, it's swapping scenes, so the blaster is getting recycled. Because the blaster already existed, it's going to pull it out from the recycling pool. And it is also going to start recycling the text blockers because we already had text blockers in the prior scene. Same with the centipede segments. We had segments in the prior scene, so those are all going to be getting recycled. See here, those are getting recycled. And now we have gameplay. I quickly see the score display. Let's see if I can swap scenes. So see here, we are creating a mushroom explosion for the effect here. So if I just run it, we created one, we need another one. Because one was already made and finished, we can use a recycled one, and now we can start cycling through the recycled explosions. That is line 35 and line 38. So now we cycle through the mushroom explosions, and we pull out a recycled blaster because we have a blaster recycled already. If I can quickly clear out all the critters, all the centipedes in this level. Now we have fleas. So because there are no fleas that have been made yet, it's going to pull one out from the recycling section. So it's going to pull one out here. If I were to destroy it, it's going to create another one. Now when it's recycling them, there's already one that exists in the pool, so it's going to pull it from the pool instead. And if I destroy it, once again, it's going to pull it from the pool. And then the last critter to show is the scorpion. So if I can quickly go through here, clear out the wave, so that we can start spawning in scorpions. So we wait. Oh, we see that we've got a breakpoint to call in a scorpion. So went through. Here's our scorpion. Oh shoot! So now it's gonna call in a scorpion that was recycled to create another one. The scorpion goes to the end of the screen. Then we wait a bit for its alarm to go off. shoot. So we're setting the wave. And that's the end of the game. So we got a new high score. Just put in some initials there. And when I close out, we are calling the game end section. So in the game end section is where all my factories get terminated, as well as the game master. So we go here. We have recycled centipedes. It's going to call all. It's going to recall all of them and delete them. So just skip through a bit. Delete 1, 2, delete the rest. That's done. It's going to do the same thing with our segments. So it's going to delete them one by one until there's none left. Then it does the same with the spiders. There's only one, so it just recycles it. One flea, or two fleas rather, recycles both of them. Got one scorpion, so it recycles that. We got 122 mushrooms. I'm just going to play through a few of them, but you don't need to see all of it. So I'm just going to delete a few, see that it's going downwards, and then all of them are gone at the end. Score displays, we had 2 of them, so we just recycle both of them, or delete both of them rather. Blasted, we only ever had 1, so we just delete that one. Same with the bullet, because we only have 1 on screen. For the explosions, we had a few, so there was 1 small explosion, there was 1 big explosion, and there were 2 mushroom explosions, so we recycle both of them. We delete both of them. For the glyphs, we had a few glyphs. Oh, we did not have to recycle the glyphs. The text blockers, we had a lot of them, so it's gonna, once again, I'm just gonna iterate through a few of them. The glyph factory, we didn't have to delete them because there was no news ever called. So it was always referencing ones that already existed, so that's why it skipped through all of them. So here, see, we're deleting a few of them. And then delete them all. And that passes the test.